So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weeds, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
Well, hello there, Applebites. This is your Applebite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. Show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, geek out, and just say crazy things. Folks, we got a plethora of people hanging out with us today, and it is going to be a geek out and a half.
Woo!
Folks, how are you all doing?
Doing awesome. You are my 60-second podcast for my campaign run.
Yeah, I was just telling them before in the green room that you were probably going to show up a little late because you were coming off of another show.
I was, yeah. This is my third one today.
Jesus, Ray.
What's the one that was right before us? I need to know their names.
Marathoning hard.
Link up with you, man, but find out where you're going. You're finding all these shows.
I would say about 10 of them are repeats. So that's about 50 different ones then. I don't want to exaggerate or anything like that.
Either way,
there is about 50, but I don't want to exaggerate.
that's still I'd say about 20% more than I've got at this point in terms of finding new shows. So I definitely need to link up and figure out where you're going that I could be going to.
We'll do some crazy collabs. I'm all about collabs. I'm an extrovert and I love socializing. So here we are.
Let's rock.
I gotta be like you.
What's that?
I gotta be like you.
You got to be like me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I've got a what are we at now? I think it's 22 hours. Is it 22 now? Whoop. If I can find it. I didn't intend to turn this into the me show. It was 22 hours, yes. 22 hours.
Jesus.
Let's move the spotlight to somebody else.
Well, don't worry. Jesse, I know you got to leave early today, so we're going to start off with you. You're going to tell the people all the good stuff, give them the spiel, similar to what we did at Bix this week.
Well, at Bix, what we did was I had a whole bunch of my books there. I was at the show table and made a new friend. He's not here at the show this time, but hopefully sometime in the future he'll be here too. Right now, what we have is The Legend of Kyyden, #1, that actually just finished. The Kickstarter just finished, but due to, and it was fully funded, luckily, a little bit over. But due to popular demand, I've extended the pledges a little bit. So we'll be doing late pledges until the end of Sunday, like around 10 p.m. So there's still time, so you can get your copy as well.
Also, I got a question for you right away. Yeah. You can set it up so that you can have as much time as you want, or do they give you a limited amount of time to do it? I know other people have done it.
You can have as much time as you want, but giving too much time tends to be not a good thing. So kind of like cutting it off to kind of close to the end of the campaign, like a little bit after the end of the campaign is good. Like since mine ended in like the middle of the week, I'm giving to the end of the week for the late pledges. Because if you just leave it open, then it's just going to be, it's basically like a store, but Kickstarter is taking their portion. You just have your own store.
Yeah. So why you don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it open till the end of Sunday. And then I'll just completely close it, and then I work on fulfillment after that. So what The Legend of Kyyden is, it's a fantasy action story. The prologue issue was actually funded on Kickstarter like 2 years ago. What that was about was it was about a king named Damien. His castle was under siege from an old enemy, and he was trying to reach his family before Eclipse did. So what happened is that he did get there. He fought through his castle, killed soldiers, got to his family before anybody could hurt them. But then Eclipse came barging in, and they had this whole big battle. Now, Damien didn't win that battle. So the best thing he could do was escape. So that's what he did. He grabbed his wife, grabbed his son, jumped out of the top of the story of the castle, and ended up landing in a bale of hay like it's Assassin's Creed, and he survived. So he ended up having to go far south to the far south of the continent, to some place hidden in the woods where he could raise his family in safety. Now, many years have passed since then, about 18. As you can see, our main character now, Dimitri, is about 18. And he's grown up in this village, sheltered, doesn't know much about the outside world aside from the people that have come in, which this is a place for people that are basically downtrodden by the outside world. Either their homes were taken in war, they're like, people that are not part of society in general, or they were kicked out of their own home because they didn't follow, their village customs. So they've all built this community together, living in peace. Everything is harmonized, everything is cool until, of course, our old enemy finds them again, and then it starts the whole story, the whole journey of Dimitri going over this whole world he's never seen before, full of, exotic creatures, locations. I'm thinking of lots of crazy creatures I want to do, and like lots of cool locations I want to put together. But we got to get the setup issue. So this is it's a double size, 48 pages. So we're getting the full first part of the story out right there. And then the second issue, we're not there yet, but just a little preview. There's going to be a cool transformation for Dimitri where he comes into his ancient powers that he's inherited from his father. So it's all in my head. I'm getting ready for it. Like, I'm going to do this fulfillment, and then we're going to go straight into issue 2.
Right on, man.
Thanks.
Definitely, man. I love it. I can feel the video game already forming.
That or an anime. The other one comes first. It's fine.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the video game. I can feel the D&D game. I can feel the there's so much there to feel. Oh, definitely. It has mad vibes. And how did you do at Bix with the book? Because you had like a preview book there, right? Or did you have?
Yeah, it was the prologue issue.
The prologue issue.
Yeah, you picked up one of those too as well.
Yes,
you
I
haven't
did.
read it yet, but yeah. But I did well though. Like, I sold a couple of books, got more people on the Kickstarter, got plenty of email lists. It was very popular. But then I also had 2 other series as well, which I actually started before them. Those were popular as well. I got a lot of those, so I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm going. I want to do podcasts. I got to do more podcasts. I don't do enough stuff like this. So I'm trying to, open myself up. I'm actually an introvert, so I don't really like to. but I'm also my own marketer, so I have to be more extroverted in this if I want people to know.
Going out of your comfort zone, and you grow because of it. That's good, man.
Exactly. It's the goal.
You just keep doing shows, Jesse. You'll pick it up. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, definitely. The more you do,
I've done plenty of shows.
easier it gets.
I was doing a lot more shows before COVID, and then once COVID hit and everything shut down, I'm slowly getting back into it. I'm doing Undiscovered Realm in June, so I'm going to be in there. I'm trying to get into Eternal Con in July. I'm still waiting to hear back about that, and I'm searching around, seeing what's open, just going, doing my spiel, spreading my books.
Yeah, I find going in cosplay really breaks the mold of really putting yourself out there, and humility goes out the window.
You either feel stupid or just own the stupid.
Exactly.
Why not both?
Why not both? Yeah.
See, I am my cosplay, so I'm a character.
It's like I'm playing the character of me. Okay. Well done.
Especially because the Written Writ Ralph voice is all the way over here. This is Written Writ Ralph. Oh
I
man.
also put the link to Legend of Kyyden in chat just in case anybody wants to.
Well, while you're doing that, you might as well tell them, what it is, what they are. Hey, go ahead, give us the whole spiel. Go for it.
What they are, what Kyydens are?
No. The other books.
One's called The Elemental Conductors. It's actually my first story. It's about people who survive natural disasters and get powers based on the disaster they survived. Get struck by lightning powers. Caught in a flood, water powers. Things like that. A spiel you probably heard a dozen times that I said at the show. That was my first story. I started that in probably 2017, 2018, I believe. And I've just been slowly working on that since. I've got 8 issues of that. Sometime in between that, like I think it was maybe 2019, 2020 before the pandemic, I did Night Rain, which is my second series. That is it's kind of Venom-esque. Also, everybody says the main character reminds them of a prototype because of the blade arm, but it's about creatures that bond with people and then take over a part of their body and turn it into a weapon. Now, they're supposed to do this bonding parasitically. So they're supposed to take over. They're not supposed to be anything of the person left when they do it. But Ted, our creature that bonded with our main character, James, he did it symbiotically. So since that happens, now they're both being hunted. And hijinks ensue from there.
Here they are. Well, there you go. So you guys can get an idea what we're talking about. There goes the Elemental Conductors, and there goes Night Rain. Yep. So, folks, now you can see it. So your imaginations don't have to overwork. I gotta say, the trading card that you have as a stretch goal looks really good.
Yeah, we'll see if we make that one. We're still like 1,000 away from that.
True, but it looks really good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I have good artists. That was Camilla who did that one. Camilla Zapata.
Dude, Dad, this looks like something right out of one of the card games.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely looks worthy of like it looks like a trading card. Like
exactly.
when I see that, like in the early 90s, I started collecting superhero cards. I have the first run of DC, and then Marvel had their series. I collected with my brother the first 3 generations. And this feels like in just after that, there was an X-Men card collecting deck that you could get. And this feels like just after that era.
Yeah,
that was an inspiration for that, actually. Yeah,
I could tell. Good.
You pegged it there.
My favorite out of the X-Men ones, because my brother collected the X-Men ones, was the 9 cards that make the big Danger Room image.
Oh, I forgot about those.
That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I used to love all that extra stuff.
Yes. Right dead front center is Cable blowing a monster away, or blowing a robot away, rather. And it's looking up the barrel at his eye.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was a great. Yeah, man, that's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Feel free to pledge. We're still open.
Folks, we put the link into the comment section so you guys can go check it out. He is funded, but he still has it up there for a couple of days, so you guys can pledge. And everything helps, folks, because remember, just because the Kickstarter has ended doesn't mean that all that money that he has to put into these books has ended.
Got to do the next one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Got to pay the artists. Like, I make sure I support my artists. Everything has to be done there. So
exactly. That's what we tell people all the time. Nobody's making money off of these books. They're just making the next book.
It's a labor of love. We want to share with you all.
Exactly. Oh, man.
That's interesting, Jesse, when you say, like the way I put it, it sounds like you can definitely relate to this. You just got to get this story out of your system, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we're doing
like
you just got to express it.
In there, exactly. You just got to get it out.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Like I always tell people, like I've always had a wild imagination. Now I'm just doing something with it.
Yeah, it's good, man.
I always tell people that I have to use the imagination somehow, and killing people isn't a good thing.
Not advised.
Well, that depends what the end result is. You make a horror movie, right? Like now it's okay.
Oh, I got an idea for a story now. Okay. So DM Ray, why don't you, you're closing in on the end of your campaign here. Why don't you tell the people all the beautiful stuff so they can know why you've been busy trying to tell the people all about your stuff?
Why don't you play that trailer? I think that's a good segue.
You want me to go to the videotape?
I should have done
Sure,
that.
folks. Here we go to the videotape.
After Chasgo and myself received a surprise visit from Dunnan and Madrakas, we were able to help the local guards stave off the beginnings of an undead outbreak. I recognize one of the fallen creatures to be an addict to the local drug, Weave. After following a lead, the four of us were able to track down a group of bandits transporting the drug. Fortunately, we were able to control the situation, and Dunnan has a gift with aligning perspectives.
You get to choose which of my friends here you are going to speak to. If not, I'll pick for you.
We had no idea that this was the beginning of a very long night.
Roll for initiative. Oh, wait, sorry.
Roll for initiative. Yeah, exactly. So this is issue 1 and 2 of a 3-part miniseries. There is less than 24 hours to go. It is fantasy themed. The core story is about 4 friends trying to reunite in their hometown, which is interrupted by an undead outbreak. These 4, in one way or another, are able to help pacify this outbreak. And one of the main characters is inclined to believe it has something to do with a local drug issue. Basically, he sees one of the fallen creatures and can't find any, he recognizes it as a local junkie, but he can't find any bite marks on it. And by the end of the issue, there is a curveball, and they're not exactly sure whether these two things are mutually exclusive or if this drug has something to do with the undead. Issue number 2 starts off with them pressing for some information. That main cover there, it shows them actually entering a path. There's a lot of overgrowth, as you can see, and it is they're going into the main headquarters of this drug's distributor. So obviously I can't say too much, but what I can say is if you have any shifty individuals that are putting or running something or has a lot of inventory or stock or a lot of cash flow, they're obviously going to have some hired muscle, and that's all I can say about that right now.
Roll for initiative.
Yes, there's some cool things that are getting debuted in this. I'll just go over the variant covers real quick because a lot of them do depict something. I try to have every cover have something to do with inside the comic. So in this case, in this issue, it's the first time you see Chasgo's albino 3-eyed crow that you could see on his shoulder there. I wanted a cover to have that crow, Emmix, or Raven rather, Emmix, shown in some fashion or another. Chasgo is a very reserved. He keeps his cards close to his chest. He even hides his appearance with very few people knowing what he actually is. So here he is in his natural form. Big shout out to Jay Sloan and Dave Kemp coloring. Jay Sloan's depiction and mood with the anatomy is just wondrous. And then on top of that, Dave Kemp, I didn't give him much color to work with, and he still knocked the damn thing out of the park. This appears to be the fan favorite of all the covers, and I can understand why. I mean, all of them, they did some great teamwork. The last cover, I keep forgetting to say, Dan Kemp colored and Kenny Calderon did the line work on the last cover you saw there. I don't know why I glazed over that. Apologies on there. But anyways, if there's 3 more covers, if you go down one, this is Russ Leach from the UK depicting Little Dun and Eenie, the half-dwarf, half-gnome, who, without understanding fully why, he's developed these abilities to manipulate metals and crystalline structures. The most blatant example of that is this telescope, which he's rigged in a way to blast raw arcana out of it, almost like somewhere between a potato cannon and a firecracker. It syncs with his goggles. He needs his goggles on for it to function, and it pokes out of his backpack over his shoulder, similar to that of something like you'd see War Machine fashion on his armor. Russ Leach and Dave Kemp, another example, great teamwork from Russ Leach, all the eye going towards the center, towards Dunnan. And then Dave coloring it, he put the color focus on the main character and downplayed the colors of the others, which in turn amplifies the eye drawing to the middle. These guys are definitely veterans, and they know what they're doing. The one underneath that, done by Rod Ramos Rodolfo from this Canadian here likes to say British Columbia, not a lot rather, but not British Columbia. Brazil is the word I'm looking for. Him and Dan Kemp colored
each other, brother.
But Madrakis here, there's a scene where you actually get to see this depiction. I gave a little part of the script describing what you're seeing here, and I said just draw Madrakis and what he's doing, don't draw anything else. So this was his interpretation of that scenery, and here we have Madrakis pulling Earth upward using some arcane ability. I would love to talk more and more about the scene, but I can't. But if you back the issue, you can actually see this. The imagery speaks for itself. These guys, just like all the other covers, it's an excellent combination. People seem to really like Madrakis a lot. If I were to parallel it to Power Rangers, he'd be the equivalent of that Sixth Ranger. If you watch the original, that would be the Green Ranger, Tommy, where he does a lot of cool things, but not necessarily the finishing blow. And a lot of people just like him because he's cool, he's large, he's imposing, he's highly intelligent. He's not charismatic at all. And a lot of people seem to really like how he's not some big, dumb, oafish meat shield. Just because he's large doesn't mean he's good for nothing but one really cool punch or something, as you see in a lot of teams, that trope, if you will. There's a whole story behind his sword. The name of the blade is Urus, which is mentioned in the first issue. That's a story for another time, of course. I can say that Dunnan did craft that blade, the little guy, but again, that's a story for another time. The final cover underneath here, this one's a little more abstract in art. Jenna Stark drew this. And Sarlacc, the full-blooded dwarf, a wild, holy guy of the woods who lives in a city and tries to be more helpful to those less fortunate than him, who's also essentially a monster slayer of some type. This scene actually happens in the book, or in the story, rather. That book he's holding is a critical piece of information. I don't want to say TSN turning point, but it is a critical scene. Again, I can't talk about it, but Dave Kemp colored it. The other part of significance to this is this stained glass depiction is going to be metal foil. So that's going to amplify that stained glass look. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turns out with that imagery. Some people wanted the Chasgo cover to be metal foil. I didn't want to take attention off of the stained glass piece because it's really beautiful in its own right. There is a good compromise, though. That Chasgo image, without the logo, just the virgin art, ink and color. Further down, don't go to it yet, but you can get that pinup with metal foil, so it's just the image, not even the MadCaps brand is on it, just the image for what it is. As you can tell, I'm slowing down a little bit. Anyways, Victor Medina did the interiors. Dan Kemp colored. The image speaks for itself. I'm just flattered. I've got these up and coming artists. Hey, Lori.
What up, Lori?
No spoilers.
Hello.
Well, if I say something surprising, you might soil yourself. So maybe they're soilers. That's my dad joke of the day. I'm sorry. I got 3 kids. Dad jokes for days. I know Lori's trying not to laugh, but too bad. You're gonna laugh and you're gonna like it.
A dad joke backed up by a dad joke. Fantastic.
Oh, delicious. I'm full of them, man.
All day, every day.
I throw them out like I'm making it rain, man. But
you're making Rain Man? I didn't know you have weather powers.
No, get your umbrella out because I'm gonna make it rain dad jokes all day. Anyways, I'm going off topic here. So Victor Medina, he claims this is his first time. Ray, just no. It isn't just no. There's a hell no. There's by God, please no. There's lots of different no's. So Victor claims this is his first time doing interiors, and to quote my publisher, Phil Russert, if I didn't know that, I wouldn't have thought it. Like, I swear the guy's lying. He really liked my script. He really liked
like I've
working
told you
with
before, this looks like it could have been another cover.
Yes. Yeah, it's the talent I've gotten on here, up and comers in conjunction with veterans, and they just blend nicely together. Like, just the lettering, everything there shows them pressing. At the end of the first issue, they intercept the bandits, knock over the cart. That shows them asking questions. And I don't want to eat up everybody's time here. I'll just glaze over this next part. But this is page 7. You will not see a lot of action because it's very spoiler heavy. So unfortunately, I guarantee you there's action in it, and it's definitely worth it. This page 7 here, if you just go up for just 1 second, I mentioned Chazgo in it. Oh, no, apologies. Go down one more. That one there. So Chazgo and his pet. Here we have him looking through the eye of his pet. So his Raven, MX, is flying over top of the facility that they're about to infiltrate, and he's telling his friends what he sees through the eyes of MX, which is even something like Dan Kemp's coloring. He made it all look like it was through a looking glass. Victor's interpretation of all the different particles, which Dan decided to make it like a glass look. It really looks like it's floating on in his mind. Yeah. And even just the choice of Micah Myers, when everything's near all of the dialogue there's no tails going towards from the dialogue to Emmek's face, which I think was very smart, because it allows everything to be separate without too much drawn to center at the same time. I'm just beside myself. These guys really know what they're doing. But I'll just talk about the tiers really fast. I won't even reference it to what, if you did just scroll down, but we've got tiers getting different covers and groups. There's digital catch-up, there's physical catch-up, sketch covers. There's literally, we're calling them plush tapestries, which is actually just a plush blanket. Various art on there. We have t-shirts where you get to pick the shirt size, the color, various art. That fella there, maybe we'll pause there for just 3 seconds. Michael Townsend, a professional voice actor who's voiced for William Shatner, Disney. He's also done the voice of Talking Tom. If anybody has any little ones from roughly a decade back, he was Talking Tom, which is really cool. He's a pro dungeon master. All of the money that you put into that tier goes to him. I mean, it goes through me, of course, because I collect the money first, but I don't profit off of this tier. I actually lose $1 per person buying in. There are a couple more spots. If you've never played D&D before and you've always wanted to, this guy, he'll have you up to snuff within 15 minutes, and you'll be in your element having an amazing time. I can guarantee you that. There's also, I've already mentioned, you get a bunch of different covers in bulk, 3 at a time, or all 5, including the metal foil cover. I mentioned the metal foil poster. There's the Enthusiast, which is 1 cover and 1 t-shirt, which I already mentioned. There's the quintet of cover. That's all 5. We've got the Fireside combo underneath that, which is 1 cover, 1 comic, 1 tapestry or blanket. Us Canadians love the blankets because it gets nice and cold up here. Somebody backed the Ultimate Collector's tier, which I'm just beside myself. They really bought in. This is like everything in the kitchen sink. So you get the covers, all 5 covers rather. You get the Sean Langley pinup. You get a bookmark set. You get a map of where the story takes place. You get 1 blanket, 1 t-shirt, metal foil pinup. You also get character sheets for D&D of all 4 characters, translated loosely to D&D. They're all level 5, so if you want to play out these characters, you've got some inspiration to do so. Everything else beneath this is just a better look at all the things I've already described. There's the map by Storm Rickham, Dan Kemp. There's the color pinup, Sean Langley and Dan Kemp coloring. There's the physical copy. We only offer the main cover, no variants. For an extra $5, if you buy the pinup, you can get the black and white. There's the metal foil poster, the bookmarks, as we said, the character sheets I've already talked about, and the t-shirts I've already talked about. The blankets we've already talked about. Stretch goals, we've already got a die-cut corner sticker. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see them. So that's based off of the main cover for issue 2. If you go underneath that, we've got the second one. Everybody kept talking about this art, so we decided for free we're going to be giving everybody who backs physically the black and white inks pinup of what Jay Sloan drew. You can get that metal foil, you can get it as a cover, you can get it black and white. Everybody just loves that a lot. Shout out to the team. I'm not going to be so egocentrical and shout out to myself. But the rest of them, I'll mention. We have Victor Medina, I've mentioned on the interiors. Dan Kemp, who's colored over 100 issues of Spawn. Marvel Knights, the John Romita Jr. / Civil War era of Amazing Spider-Man. The guy's been doing this for literally decades, and he's a world. If you hang it on the wall, does it make you cool? No. You will be cold, and you might want to wear the blanket to keep you warm. There's another. It's a stretch of a dad joke, but Lori will hate me more for it. So
I love it.
Love it hard. And then, of course,
if I may, I think we should also shout out someone named DM Ray, who has been on about 60 podcasts, just going around promoting this. So I think that person definitely needs to be shouted out. Sorry, Ray, to interject. I think you're forgetting an important person of the team. I don't know if you know them yet.
I never turned down a compliment, but I will not revel in it either. Thank you. That's very nice of you. The last thing I will say is Philip Russert, my publisher, Philbo Publishing. I really appreciate all the legwork he's done for me. He's running my Kickstarter campaign while I'm being the poster boy. He's done quite a lot. He's very ambitious. He's got a lot of pot stirring right now. He's just gotten into distribution. And when my book, all 3 are done and we go to trade paperback, I don't think I'm going to call it trade paperback. I think I'm going to call it a king-size trilogy or something like that. But regardless, he's got a book out right now, and you should all check it out. It's out for it's 9 days longer than myself. We ran them kind of overlapped at the same time. There it is. That's Papa. If I had to summarize it without spoiling anything, I've read the script to all 5 issues. This is for issue 1. It's Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. If you take that character and put it in the movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, you have an old disgruntled man versus the mafia. The whole theme of this is, what are you willing to do to protect your family, and what are you willing to sacrifice in regards to yourself? Morals, values, ethics. What are you willing to do to keep that all safe? I guarantee you there is a twist in this I cannot talk about, but by the time you finish issue 1, there is a cliffhanger. You will be saying, as you're drooling, shut up and take my money. You'll be very, very impatient to get your hands on issue 2.
I agree.
For the whole thing, I say this with conviction. I'm not playing it up for the sake of playing it up. This isn't like with the shekels comes the shackles, him being my publisher. I'm saying this on like my own free will. I guarantee you guys, if you're looking for something that is different yet very relatable, this is definitely the book you want to dabble into.
And you'll probably get it right before Father's Day, so it makes it a great Father's Day gift.
Yes, and Phil based this off of his own father. He intended to have the story done and in his father's hands. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but this is still a tribute to his father. And it's we talked before. I think I was just saying to Jesse, getting something out of your system, telling a story. Well, Phil wanted to have this for his dad, and he didn't. So he's obviously just trying to be it as a part of obligation, or maybe as a part of expressing grief, or maybe somewhere in between, or none of that altogether and something else entirely. He's very driven to get this done, and I definitely understand that.
And I put both links into the comment section so you guys can go check it out.
Last thing I'll say about the MadCaps, and I've said this on multiple podcasts, probably 61 of them by now. This story, every human being has friends, and the older you get, the less likely you are able to see them as much as you want to. And those few times you do get to catch up, your inner child is just refreshed at a very high level. And this miniseries is an homage to that level of camaraderie. You'll see how these guys interact, how they get along, how they rub each other the wrong way, How in some cases, one of Raph's favorite scenes, how they can communicate to each other without even actually saying anything and do some silly dastardly things. There's action, magic, melee, mayhem, monsters, murder, mystery, all wrapped up in the MadCaps.
And like
exhale.
Like I said before, one of the reasons I love the D&D movie so much is you can feel the camaraderie of the players. And this is the same thing with this book. You can feel the camaraderie of the players. You know, as you read, you're sitting there going, okay, I can see this game table. Jesse, I know you got to go. So why don't you tell the people one more time all the good stuff? Go for it.
Well, Legend of Kyyden, right there on Kickstarter. Still got a few more days for the late pledges. They'll be ending on Sunday. This is the prologue issue of the book, so you can also get this as one of the tiers. Yeah, with one of the tiers, you can get this as well.
See, folks, if you were at Bix, you'd have that.
Yeah, you would. It's awesome. Check it out.
All right.
But yeah, I hope to share all my stories with you all.
Right on, man.
I think we're gonna throw show you off is by showing off the video.
Yes,
so folks, let's go to the videotape. You know, somebody's still out there going, "What the hell is videotape?"
So us old heads
right.
I'm Jesse.
Since we have you here,
creator
we're
and
going to cut
writer
that
of
part
The
out.
Legend of Kyyden. Good seeing everybody. This is a story full of fantasy.
I got to say, that is impressive, Jesse.
Yes, it's very dramatic, the music and everything. I'm very painstakingly trying to figure out how to make it look good.
Dude, you did a fantastic job. It actually gives you like a feel for the book beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, which is
That's
really
what
hard to
I
do
was about to
in those Kickstarter videos. True. All right, Jess, folks, go do it. Right, he's in the comment section there. We're gonna have him on the show plenty of times. Right now, Jessica has to go, but don't worry, Jess, we'll have you back on.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, and I hope to be back again soon. Next thing.
You will.
Don't worry, I'll be around. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care.
Later, Jess.
That was impressive.
Good one.
Wow. I did not see that coming. I see that Laurie's making more jokes over here. Like,
of course she is. That's
what's
Laurie's
the
whole
Canadian
gig.
version of trade paperback king size edition. And zombies.
I think king size edition. I think. I'm not sure what I want to call it.
X-Men edition.
I think king size trilogy.
Graphic novel.
Giant size edition.
People like trilogies, especially movie buffs. So
True.
I think king size trilogy. I think that's what I'm going to call it.
MadCaps, the trilogy. There you go. See?
Yeah, like every issue, like at the start, it says it's a subtitle. I never put it on the front.
That's why because you're going to put it in the big book. MadCaps.
Right, but I wanted I wanted to have it something that I could reference later, like you're saying, put it on the big book.
Right.
The whole thing's called this story arc's called Perilous Vices. So on the first issue, when you go inside, it says right underneath the logo, Perilous Vices, part 1 of 3. This one on the first page, it has the same thing, except it's part 2 of 3. If anybody has ever watched Pokemon, don't hate me if you haven't, but feel free to make fun of me after the fact. But Lori, I'm counting on you to make fun of me for this. The first series of Pokemon, it was just called Pokemon. And then they did all these other series. So when they went back, they ended up calling it, I believe, the Indigo League.
That's correct.
Yeah. So in this one, this will be the equivalent. So I don't know how far I'm going with this. I just wanted this nice trilogy. And if this is as far as it goes, okay, good. Oh yes, the Pikachu suit. I forgot about that. That's right. Slice and dice for days is what that is, baby. All right. I was told there was a reason Lori was on this, was watching this show. Somebody said that she wanted to get a peek at you, Raph.
A peek at you.
Apologies.
Oh my God. All the bad
That
jokes.
hurt a lot. Right?
All the bad
I'm
jokes.
still being stung by that one big time, man.
Woo!
But anyways, if this is
I think I'm Charizard
warn
by
you
that,
guys
to be
because
honest
what
with you.
happened one time on the show was, and I know Nathan remembers, is it turned into a whole dad joke show.
Don't get me started, man.
And that's exactly what happened. We just started with 1-2 jokes. Next thing you know, every single one of us was selling dad jokes, and the whole show became about dad jokes.
Listen, half the crew right here is pretty drowsy, so I don't think we should.
Get there.
We should Araquanit right now.
We'll be out of here like magic. Kadabra.
Odin.
Just grottle that there's no more
Me.
jokes. So.
It is your turn, Odin.
Oh, is it?
With the
Now tell us, are you feeling a little mischievous?
Mischievous.
What?
Oh my God, it's gonna happen.
Listen, it's just gonna get weirdier from here.
Weirdier.
Man. That's what we're here for, right? That's what the party's all about.
Party's all about.
But yeah, speaking of parties, this is Elysian Fields Reborn.
Heck yeah.
And there's no bigger party going on right now than Elysian Fields Reborn. Anyways, so yeah, this is actually a reboot of the series that I got into comics with. I came into the indie scene about 5 years ago, and I did Elysian Fields issue 0. Had some pretty solid success. on that, and then I did its follow-up, Elysian Fields: The Pyramid Gambit, and promptly fell on my face. So I took 4 years away from it and was working on a whole bunch of different things, and eventually I had people asking when I was going to come back to the book, and that was kind of a surprise because the second book did not do well. But yeah, so here we are. Elysian Fields has been rebooted in this fantastic epic format. We're actually doing like an 8.5 by 11 prestige format, and it's at its base level, it's Mortal Kombat meets Heroes of Mythology, right? You've got this story that is focused around Achilles, and you see him at his final battle at Troy. He dies, he goes to the underworld, he reunites with his loved ones, and he's there for maybe about 30 seconds before he's ripped away and brought to this arena where he's supposed to fight alongside Heracles and Queen Hippolyta of the Amazons against all these different heroes from different mythological pantheons, and their goal is to help Hades kind of regain his dominion over the underworld in doing this. And so it's just this really exciting book that, has a lot of character in it, but it's a also just beautiful spectacle battle book, which I think the art kind of speaks for itself. Like there's no amount of words that I can say that these images won't do for me. Like, very fortunate to have the team that I have.
Just breathtaking.
Yeah, they're really good, and the book's done. And since we've crossed 4K, we got this nice shiny holofoil version of cover A. So everyone who backed this cover, this is what you're getting. You're getting the very slick. And as I said, book's already done, so we'll be getting that here quick. Our next cover upgrade, which is at 5K, is this silver foil of the V. Ken Marion cover we've got. It's
pretty.
Really pretty. So
he's trying to seduce those people.
Dude,
it might be working.
step into my van. I have candy.
Oh man! Oh, a piece of candy.
Sorry, did you say fake character? Sorry, what?
Fake character.
Look, man, Fate is outstanding. I love it. I genuinely like Fate was such a big thing for me. And it was fun. It's funny because it's this weird like a niche romance fantasy battle story, and it weirdly has some of the best depictions of like Western mythological and historic characters that I've seen. I don't understand how this weird little niche series got it.
It's all about the love,
Huh?
It's all about the love.
Oh, of course.
I like the depiction. Like anytime you get a book with a specific art style, it's very specifically its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime that doesn't run well is if it's too much of, well, this person is all like this combined with this or this. But what I'm seeing here is its own thing, and I really, really respect the art for that format.
I'm very fortunate to be working with who I'm working with, and it's really fun. Like, the cool part about doing this is that as I said, it's a battle book, and we're bringing in all these different characters. So it's been really fun working with the creative team and fleshing out these characters' aesthetics, and how that also informs the story is really fun. And when this is all said and done, I could probably do like a book just of the character sheets that we've done for each of these for each of the characters, because like by the time we finish this series, there'll be probably around 50 or 60 characters that you've seen, and all of them big names from various different mythological sects.
Well, you can see your passion's really coming through, Michael. That's what I like about this. I mean, we've been on other shows, and your background in history is just really, it's just spilling out of everything. It's just really cool. That's what I love about it,
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, I could go through and talk about the perk tiers, but like really what it comes down to is whichever cover of the book that you want, it's $15. That's universal. That gets you a copy of the book in your digital. And like we have some collector tiers. Obviously, we've got some original art, which is really cool. We've got a piece by V. Ken Marion. We've got a Von Randall piece, and then we have the original pencils of that main cover. Then we have like a collector box that's just kind of gets you everything. We've got some pretty cool T-shirts and hats. I wear my Nine Realms Publishing hat all the time. It's pretty swanky. Andrew Pink Rodriguez says historically accurate design is a plus. This comic looks sick, dude. Thank you so much. It was really fun. So Heracles turned out great, and I think that if I were to pinpoint who is the most quote unquote historically accurate based off of the mythological sources and everything, it's probably Heracles. Achilles, we really got to have fun with, because a lot of people don't realize this because their exposure to Achilles in the Trojan War is a very bad movie that came out in 2003, 2004 called Troy. But when Patroclus dies, he's actually wearing Achilles' armor, and Hector strips it off of him and keeps it. And so he has to go to his mother, who's this immortal sea nymph, and she goes to the smith god Hephaestus, and he makes Achilles a new set of armor. So we got to really play with that and play up these fantastical elements. And like even down to Achilles' helmet, we were able to blend some of the more iconic Grecian style helmets from like the Hellenistic period, which obviously wouldn't be worn in like the archaic Bronze Age that the Trojan War took place in. But it's made by the god of smiths, so who the hell cares, right? So it's a really fun thing to get to do. And I really hope that people get a kick out of it as much as we've had, bringing it to light.
Gotta say, all this stuff just looks fantastic. Like the more you show off, the more you're like, oh.
Did you say bring it to life? Like it's coming from the underworld?
Ooh. Good thought there.
So you're telling me we're going to have Dante's walking through and explaining how the world works?
I am not going to insert a Dante Origi. No.
That one could say that's a daunting task.
You might just need a Virgil to guide you.
I knew exactly where this was going.
Mm-hmm.
I am the storm that is approaching. What?
I am
provoking.
Vengeance. I am the night.
White clouds of isolation.
Nathaniel gets me. It's all good.
Don't worry. You need a reclaimer of your name.
That song had no right being as good as it was. It really didn't. I'm a huge Virgil fan from Devil May Cry, but like when they released that, I was just like, no, man, that's not okay. Like, motherfuckers.
There he's trying to just play that.
Hey, when I broke the no cursing rule. No.
I think I cursed ages ago.
I don't even know. Man. I'm so tired.
So let's continue the history movement. And Paul, why don't you tell the people all the beautiful stuff? Go for it.
Well, everyone was showing videos. Can I show a video off first? Is that okay?
No.
No?
Of course you can.
Give me a second. Let me just pull it over and share a screen.
1 second. You got it. Look, man. That was one.
Yeah, sorry. Let me get this right. Give me a second.
While we are waiting for Paul, I'll show off the Time Enforcer logo here with the beautiful going through time effect.
Can you guys see that?
Hold on.
Yeah.
There it is. Hold on.
Okay, it's just 30-second promo, but
fun. I
this
love
is what we
this.
set up for before the App Store launch, but little 30-second promo.
Will you step up to the challenge to save time as we know it?
Disruptions are occurring across multiple timelines, all at the same time.
Time Enforcers, an interactive digital comic and role-playing video game with a twist. Not only can you go on missions to the past, present, and future to thwart Chronolus' evil schemes, but you can learn about history and other civilizations while you're doing it. Time Enforcers, available for your Android device from the Galaxy Store.
That's our promo.
Woo! Oh.
Yeah. Kill that.
I thought we were going to party.
Yeah, I could leave it on if you want, but it's all right.
Oh, man. So go ahead. Keep telling the people all the good stuff.
Yeah, so Time Enforcers is a brainchild that I came up with during COVID. Seeing what my kids were going through with the education experience and how history really became more than a chore, but almost like an experience that no one would really want to experience. So I really wanted to make a way for making learning history fun, and that's why I came up with the idea of Time Enforcers. And the whole premise is we have a group of saviors of the galaxy, so to speak, called the Galactic Space Time Consortium, headed by H.G. Wells and C.T. Huygens, who essentially safeguard the timeline. And if something goes wrong, they call in the Time Enforcers to help save the day. And so the game is based off episodes. The first episode has been released. Episode 1 is Time Out of Time in feudal Japan. So you go back to feudal Japan as Time Enforcer Kyyden and try and figure out what's going on and why everything's getting disrupted. So that's really the basic premise in terms of the first episode. But ideally, each episode is going to feature a different character from history's past. And so as you move through each episode, you're going to see and learn about the time in which these characters lived. And the second episode is going to be featuring Amelia Earhart. And we're also going to be featuring a new character called Nick of Time, who's a detective. And using those two characters, we'll be expanding the role-playing aspect, and we'll also be adopting a greater sense of interactivity through the comic book that we have developed based on episode 1. So I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun as I move through. I mean, the palette for stories is just endless because I have so many characters that I've just researched over the past year, and I have at least 5 storylines played out in episodes. So it's really cool. It's just a matter of being able to get all the stuff done, which is impossible, it seems, at this point. It's just I love it too much, and it's just trying to get the talent to get it done is really the challenge right now. But with episode 2, we've actually have enhanced the experience. In episode 1, we have this device called the Chronoton. If you're familiar with Fallout and the Pip-Boy, it's basically how you move through time. It also provides all the answers to the questions you get during the game. So you don't have to go to the internet to find any answers. Basically, everything's provided in-game. And what's nice is there's no ads. There's no prompts for buying additional stuff, at least in episode 1. It's really meant to be a learning experience and done in a fun way for kids to interact with.
This reminds me a lot of the early... I think the last time something of this caliber of neat, like the cool level, I barely remember this, but I do. Commodore 64, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Or Where in Time?
That's really cool. You know what it reminds me of, DM Ray?
Yeah.
Time Warp Trio.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm not familiar with that one.
So those are like those are
You
some
just
of my
exposed
favorite
her
books growing up. They were the goofier version of the Magic Treehouse books.
Yeah.
Which were like
yeah.
they would go up into the treehouse and they'd come back out and they'd be in like a different time. But like Time Warp Trio was that, except it was like goofier. So it was like each book was during a specific time period and had like a different gag, right? But like it like I honestly love this premise. When I was doing when I was doing my my history undergrad, one of my favorite exercises that I would get in one of my classes was we would do these kind of time traveler situations where you'd have to go back and write about an event as if you were seeing it, right? And so it was a nice little blend of creative writing and research writing. And so like this is just such a fun premise. Sorry, I don't jump in like that, but like it really just gives me so much joy to see something like this.
I love it. I mean, I grew up, pre-internet, and so the only way I got my history learning was going to the library and getting books. And I just remember one year we had the whole thing in our library where they had a ship and you had to get a flag, and then like the amount of books you read, you get your flag up to the top of the mast of the ship. I read so many freaking biographies that summer. That was amazing. That really got me turned on. Learning. I mean, Sacagawea and Lewis and Clark and Abraham Lincoln. It was all basic stuff, but just learning about these peoples and their cultures and civilizations is just fascinating. And just
yes,
I think it's really highly overlooked now. I think a lot of people just throw history aside, which is a mistake. I mean, you have the old adage: if you don't know from the past, you're going to repeat mistakes in the present, and it's just like there's more to it than that. I mean, there's so much cool stuff. I mean, you look at Michael's book. In Elysian Fields, I mean, my mouth is watering for that one, man. You got to send it to me like right away because
it will get out pretty quick.
Yeah,
there's so much inspiration to draw from.
Yeah. That's why I think it just, we had a contest last summer. We were trying to choose the next character, and to be honest, I had 6 of them listed. There was 3 combined. We had the Knights Templar, so that included like Joan of Arc and Richard the Lionheart. I can't remember who the third guy was. Then we had Queen Hatshepsut, who was the Egyptian pharaoh. She was a woman pharaoh at the time. And then we had the dog Togo from the Serum Run in 1925. Of course, Togo won the contest, but hell, I'm going to develop all those storylines based on all those characters to begin with. It's just so much fun, so it's really cool stuff. And I don't know. I think one of the things that bothers me about Disney is just like this beholding to keeping things the same without changing a whole lot. I tend to blow up the timeline big time. So that's where I'm going with this. Things are like going to be totally disruptive, and Chronolith is going to have a great time really messing everything up. So,
but it makes sense though, because you got a time machine type story. So you don't have to make history the same as history is now, especially if you're trying to fix history.
Exactly. You got to mess things up. You got to stir the pot. It's like, what's the point of having fun if you can't like mess things up?
Paul, about to drop a hot take here, but rather than focusing on the world's history's worst cheerleader and a guy who could never win any war that he went to, but is still posed up as a badass, you should put in William Marshall, England's best knight. He is the shit. First Earl of Pembroke. If you have not heard about this dude, you need to. He fought Richard and dehorsed him like 6 times. Cool. Richard tried to throw a little coup against his dad, and William whooped his little ass and turned him back over to his father as a prisoner.
It's all this.
He was made an honorary Knights Templar because he went to like 3 crusades, and he never he never lost a fight. He is a beast.
He's totally a badass, and that's what I love about this crap. It's just like so much comes up that I never learned about, and that's what I love, is to go and find out the history myself. I mean, that's one thing about this game. I really wanted to make it non-objective. It's all being sourced from areas that are accessible to everybody, but done in a way where it's providing just the facts. And, of course, we changed around with the story, of course, but the whole premise is based on historical accuracy, and that's really important to me. So the game includes all the references we used to source out the material. And my hope is, hopefully we strike a chord with one of the players or whoever plays the game, and they want to learn more about it. So we give them the sources where they can go to find out where, get that information for themselves. So it's really, the whole premise is to make learning fun. And then hopefully kids will go off and start realizing how important it is to, learn history, but also take the initiative and do it yourself and go deeper into it. So it's really the idea, which is what I love about it. So. But yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. In episode 2, of course, I kind of hinted at it. Detective Nico Time is going to be featured by a voice actor, Rafael Tavares. So he'll be in the episode.
I don't know that guy.
Yeah,
that guy's a troublemaker, I hear.
Nathan, this is where you jump in.
How many takes are you having to have?
You better be careful. But no, it's just we're gonna have fun with it, and I'm trying to figure out ways to incorporate weapons without being overly violent. So Nick is going to have this magnifying glass called the gumshoe debilitator. So it's going to lob out globs of gum at the enemies to hold them in their tracks. And then I figured out for Amelia, she's going to be throwing airplane, wheel chucks at enemies. So she'll be using bolas for that. And then with the Chronotown, we're upgrading the Chronotown because it's going to be a different format. And I've come to the idea of actually inserting detective notes into the Chronotown. So as you progress through the game, you'll have Nick's notes as he moves through the game and his experience, so you can get the answers into any questions that are thrown into the game itself. So I just, these ideas are just coming out of me. It's just like, oh God, I really get through a year end so I can get this stupid accounting done so I get back to more fun. Anyway, it's fine.
Gotta have the fun, man. Gotta have the fun.
Gotta have the fun. It's just too much fun.
Speaking of the fun, Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Are you guys heading to your local comic book stores, and which store are you heading to?
204 Comics. 204 being the shout out to the 305 or the 313. Well, the 204 is up here in Winnipeg. We're cool up here. 204 Comics is the name of the store.
You're cool because it's snowing, or you're cool because you're cool?
We're cool because we survived the snow. And it's what's the temperature right now in Fahrenheit?
What's your current temperature?
I'm looking it up right now. 49 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Oh, do you guys ever experience spring or summer? I hear it's like it's like a week.
Well, the weirdest thing about Winnipeg in specific is in Celsius it's plus 40. It can go anywhere from 40 degrees above to 40 degrees below zero being freezing in Celsius. But the coolest thing is it gets so cold. If you're on the street, you can spit and you can hear it shatter on the pavement. That's a very bad joke. I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen.
I mean, I totally was.
I believe you.
That'd be great.
I really think you're going to be holding back the MadCap blankets, Ray. I really do. I don't think you're going to be giving those up anytime too soon.
Oh, hey, I've got me a hoodie on. One province over, there's a place called Saskatchewan. It's so flat that if you stand on a stool, you can see the back of your head.
Hey, don't be throwing Saskatchewan under the bus like that.
Saskatchewan?
So
some
folks,
good friends over in Saskatchewan.
Oh, there's good people. The land is shit.
We will be at Royal Collectibles this Saturday, showing off all the beautiful stuff they're doing. They're also having a makers fair. So if you guys are in Queens and near Royal Collectibles, show up and ask me how you can get a free comic, since it's Free Comic Book Day, and I will share something with you from our sponsor, Clipkick, and if you do it, you will get a free comic.
I got mine.
That's true. That Paul did get his.
I got mine.
Free comic book, people.
Yeah, I won't be going to Free Comic Book Day. I'm going to send CT Haugens instead, so he'll be standing in for me.
As long as one of your people from the Time Enforcers show up, we're good.
He'll be there.
I love Free Comic Book Day. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It is a lot of fun, and it kind of reminds me of the old days when I was a kid. So, and you get free comic books.
Yeah. I'm going to Comic Book Logic in Ashburn.
Yeah,
where...
I feel like the local comic book stores need to, like, especially during this time of year. Dude, so I put up that post that you guys saw is me going, all right, folks, give your comic book stores the love, tell us where you're going, post them on the bottom, link them in, show other people off so that they can see it. Because hey, sometimes people are near a comic book store, they don't even know it.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Especially for Free Comic Book Day, yes. Oh man, I gotta say I'm gonna be enjoying this weekend, and I think we're supposed to hit on Sunday, Garden State Anime Fest. Tony, our friend, and I are gonna do a road trip up to the fairgrounds where Anime Fest is being held. Jersey Fairgrounds.
New Jersey.
Yeah. The New Jersey Fairgrounds. So we're going to be doing some traveling, some having fun, and check out all the anime.
I'm sure you're going to be having fun. You sound so enthusiastic, bro.
Remember,
it's going to be a good
forces us to have fun. It's not a choice.
Everybody's forced to have. What's the third rule, people?
Don't swear.
Have fun. Keep your eyes open when you drive.
Make sure you drink 3 beers.
Make sure you get Dunkin' Donuts on the way.
That's always the rule. Oh wait, that's the unspoken rule.
Will Ferrell talking to the kid in the one movie. Every day it's about making sure you get your paycheck and keeping a gun out of your mouth.
Ralph, just so you know, avoid Route 80. They got it closed off, my friends. So you got to find another way to get there.
Live, laugh, toaster bath.
I love that one.
See, folks, this is the game you need to play. Houses and humans.
That's hysterical.
Oh wait, where could I buy that Live Laugh Toaster Bath sign?
Exactly.
Dude, there is a T-shirt, and it's like this cutely drawn toaster jumping into a bathtub, and it's Live Laugh Toaster Bath.
Oh, is it like the same style as the toaster who wanted to go to Mars?
Probably. I've seen it because one of my favorite people I follow on Instagram is this guy Mandatory Fun Day, who's an Army vet, and he's very funny. He does little one-man show type skits where he's going back and forth, kind of explaining dark military humor, and it's great. It's fantastic. He's done a lot to spread awareness, I think, of veteran mindset to the civilian people.
Getting a paycheck and keeping a gun out of your mouth.
Pretty much.
I didn't see your shirt. I got a message I was looking at. I didn't see your shirt. When you stood up, my eyes went.
It says, the new game we're going to play.
Houses and humans.
Dragons on the table. I love it. I love it.
And it's funny because I've been thinking about a game now where some heroic players who are dragons are trying to infiltrate human society to capture this dragon killer who's been killing their family. and all that started because somebody gave me this shirt for Christmas.
Ralph, I'm pretty sure that's a campaign. I believe the main character follows either a phosphorus or a nickel dragon.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
If I had a nickel dragon for every time. I would be 3 dragons rich.
Would you mind dragging these?
Yeah, folks. If you thought we were tired before,
You should try goblin.
I'm good.
Roll for a perception check.
Ooh.
Literally everything outside of a nat 20 is fail because you're a fucking dragon.
You know what? It's funny. One time on Reddit, somebody was asking about like critical 20s. Are they always successful? And he gives the example of like a 3-ton boulder lands on you, and the person says, "Could I at least get a strength save?" So my solution I suggested was, if they roll anything outside of a critical 20, they die instantly. If they roll a critical 20, they die instantly. There's your options.
Oh man.
You know,
See,
critical
the way I
20 should
see
have
it
been
is it's a critical 20.
instantaneously.
So what that means is that something has happened so that you did not die.
I don't know if I want to play with Ray as a DM, to be honest with you.
I was about to say is like only dicks don't make accountability for nat 20. Because like that's the whole point. Is the nat 20 is the freaking the fate thing coming in and just being like yes, for some odd reason you've managed to pull this off, even though you shouldn't be able to fucking at all.
Yeah, like a Zeusian like interlude, it's like, forget it. Thunderbolt come down, you're sick.
My favorite natural 20 playing is when we were playing with Chad's campaign with Michael Towson. And for whatever reason, I was playing Dunanini in that, but for whatever reason, he had such great rolls. Like he had a crit 20 the very first attack. So one of these like fish people comes by and I'm going to shoot it. So I crit 20. Then I roll the dice for damage. And as soon as I roll it, because Michael says, "Dude, that's a crit." So I roll it. He says, "Yeah, do you want to describe the kill?" I said, "Well, I'm going to tell it to put its head between its legs and kiss its ass goodbye." And he's like, just legs everywhere and everything. Pardon my rambling, but yeah.
Well, see, I see it like this. I am the total fail, which is roll 1, is always playing in my game. So I have to give you the crit 20 because when the 1 comes, stuff happens.
Magical things happen.
I love the greatest friend of a role player is a natural 1. That's when all the good stuff happens.
That's when the flavor comes out.
Exactly.
Throws a punch, hits his own face. That's
dude, and it's so funny to me, like because people go, "Oh, that doesn't happen in real life," and then I go, "Well, let me tell you a story." We were hanging out in the city when I was a young buck, and my friend goes and tries to start a fight with this big guy, and they're over there arguing, and then he goes and we were all drunk, just to make sure that you guys know. He goes to punch the guy, and he goes like this, spins all the way around and punches himself in the nads. That is a 1, folks. It happens.
It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it is spectacular.
And
hey guys,
my favorite example.
I've got a roll. I am like wiped. It was so good hanging out with everybody, but I will talk with you guys here in a bit.
We will do this again. See,
Mike, if you need to come back. I know your Kickstarter has some more time to go. Tell the people one more time before you leave. That way,
they can back us on Elysian Fields Reborn. We are past our first 3. We're on our third. I can talk. We are heading to our third funding goal, which will get you a very fun bookmark with Achilles charging at you, screaming, "I am a model of mental health," done by the very talented Angel Incarnate. And then at 5K, we will unlock the silver foil upgrade to the Weekend Marion variant. So please show us support. We are a little over halfway through. the campaign. If I can talk, it's getting really difficult at this point. So yeah, please back us there. And if you want to follow me, 9 Realms Publishing, you'll find me.
There you have
All
it.
right.
Go check it out. The link is in the comment section. Bye, Michael Odin. You're welcome anytime.
I know, Raph. Hey, man, it's always a pleasure. And Paul, great seeing you. Ray, great seeing you. Nathaniel,
Of course.
we weaved out for a little bit, so I guess we met our quota.
We have.
But anyways, guys, you have a good night.
Later, Michael.
You too. Good to see you.
Folks, don't worry about it. We're about to go. You might be enjoying it out there, and you guys who are rewatching are probably saying, "What the hell happened that night?" Oh man! So, make sure you guys have fun this weekend at whatever convention you're going to, and especially at Free Comic Books Day. And I want to tell you right now, May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Sunday.
Hey, we still got 5 minutes. We still got 5 minutes.
Star Wars Day.
We're still in April.
It's May the 1st coming up, but May the 4th in a couple of days.
Exactly. Because it's gonna be May.
It's gonna be
that's the right
May.
one.
Where I am, I've got 65 minutes until it's May.
Exactly. All right, folks. Do we got anything else to say?
I think that's it. For some reason, it just came to my attention that Michael looks a lot like Seth Rogen. Why?
Oh man!
I'm gonna tag him on Facebook with a picture of Seth Rogen next to him. It's actually kind of cool. Like, I'm actually impressed. Like, he could stand in for Body Double. Wow. Like a young Seth Rogen, of course.
Of course, folks. Go ahead, Ray. So as we're coming out,
21 hours to boot. We've got lots of cool things on the go. If anybody's on the fence, this is the time to jump in. We already have 2 stretch goals unlocked. Free pinup that's come in. We got 4 unique characters, a giant 6.5 foot, 350 pound snake man that vomits lightning. We got a little half dwarf, half gnome that can blow things up. We've got an axe wielding holy wild dwarf that lives in a city. And we got a very, very reserved blue skin elf that keeps to himself and holds his cards close to his chest with a lot of impactful magic that you don't get to see too often. But when you do, it's pretty darn awesome. These 4, they are trying to figure out what's going on with their hometown in regards to this local drug issue and an undead outbreak. 21 hours to go, like I said. Back it now before it's too late. Issue number 3, I'm really looking forward to hitting the ground running as soon as issue 2 is fulfilled, and we go from there.
and join us in the game with DM Towson. Come on.
Yeah, there's a tier on there. You can play alongside me, Raph, Michael Towson, pro D&D player, Dungeon Master rather. It's going to be an amazing time.
And Nathan's in there already too.
And Nathan too. Apologies, I forgot this.
Oh, no, sorry. And the vending machine too.
I don't know. I was told there's no vending machines.
Or is that with Chad's tier?
I think it was with Chad's
Let
tier.
me double check.
I think
one of them. I'm told no vending machines.
Mine hasn't been established yet.
So
If
it's probably
it's Chad. It's Chad.
You can be vending machine in mine. If you
Okay, very well.
All right.
how about a 1937 locomotive?
Ooh.
You could be a barbarian construct stealth check. You know why people like barbarians for sneaking more than rogues? Because although you're sacrificing sneak attack damage, nothing says "surprise, you son of a gun" like a warhammer to the head driving through the floorboards. But in your case, as a train, you'd be just like, oh, and it just smashes.
No, I should be a car that transforms, so that way you just hear.
I really hate when that happens.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens, right? I've never seen a passenger get smushed to pieces as the car transforms into a transformer. Oh my god! Blood starts coming out the windows.
I was about to say that could be kind of cumbersome. I don't know.
I think I did see that, but it was in oh my god, Robot Chicken. Yeah.
That adds up. That checks out.
Oh my god. I gotta get
All right,
on the
Paul,
show.
tell them all about the beautiful time enforcers.
There's no excuse. We've got it on the iPhone, iPad. We got it on Android phones and tablets. We've got it on Mac, PC. So pretty much every device in the known universe you can play this game. And all you gotta do is download it. It's really cool. I mean, a couple bucks, but other than that, it's on your phone. And what's great about it is we've got an interactive table of contents. So if you can't finish the whole episode in one sitting, you can leave and come back and start where you left off. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, folks, that comment is in the comments. Yeah, that's right. One last thing. Are you gonna say, Ray?
Oh no, I was just saying right on.
Okay. One last thing. Next Tuesday will be the artist version of the Comics in the Bronx. Right before we do the big one on May 10th at Bronx Community College, where you guys should show up, ask questions. It's all about creating comics. So on Tuesday, we'll be creating comics with artists. And on Saturday, May 10th, we will be doing all the beautiful stuff at the Bronx Community College. And we'll have a little bit of a hangout afterwards so you guys can do all your stuff. But if you have questions on creating comics, you have two chances. You got one on Tuesday when we talk to the artist, and you have one on May 10th when we're at the college. And well, actually, you have it any time because we'll answer your questions here on the show. Monday is Apple Bites, of course, and next week, Wednesday, is, of course, the Written Writ. And I think that is everything, folks. And on this show, when it ends, I press the button, and where it stops, nobody knows.